Okay. So, can you say a little bit more about food or eating disorders are not really about the food?
And they are about the food.
And they are about the food, and that's a paradox. So can you say more about that?
Right. Well, what I've found is that the food and actually even the eating behaviors themselves are concrete representations of different kinds of struggles in someone's life. For example, if someone is restricting their food, that's not the only thing they're restricting in their lives. Typically, they might be restricting new experiences or relationships or emotional expression, or maybe they're putting themselves on restriction whenever they make a mistake. So that theme of restriction can be found everywhere in their lives. And if somebody is struggling with binging and purging, for example, it's not just with food. So they might sign up for a whole bunch of classes and then get overwhelmed and drop out. Or they might meet someone, fall madly in love, and then as soon as something's not quite right, they end the relationship. Or then they might do a ton of projects and then get overwhelmed and give up. So you see this tendency to take in more than they can assimilate, become overwhelmed, and then get rid of it. You're going to see that pattern in their lives. And if somebody is struggling with binge eating disorder, for example, what you'll find is you're going to find the theme of scarcity everywhere in their lives. It's not just that there's not enough food, but there's not enough time. There's not enough money. There's not enough attention. Or maybe they're not enough. So you can, when you start to look at it through that lens, you start to see the complexity. And also the good news is that as they clear that pattern with what they're doing with food, it clears in other areas of their lives as well.
Okay, so that leads me to my next question. So once a woman realizes, oh wow, I'm doing this in other parts of my life. It isn't, I thought it was just food I was restricting, but really I'm restricting love, I'm restricting, care, I'm restricting positive things. How do you use that way of thinking to help somebody heal?
Because once you can find out what that pattern is, it's then pointing you towards the skill set that a person needs. So for example, if they feel like life is just too much, it's just too much coming at them too fast, and so they're wanting to restrict, it may get played out in food, but if they can learn a skill like setting boundaries, so that they get to set the pace in which they participate in relationships or activities, then that's a skill that they can then develop so they don't get overwhelmed. So it points you towards a skill set. And these are skills, anybody can learn them. They're like riding a bike or driving a car or learning to swim. You don't need special DNA. But you do need practice. And so that's what then someone can do. They find out, oh, all right, this is the skill I need, and then have a safe place to practice getting that skill.
Okay.